I'm very much still a new creator in this space, so I make mistakes. And one of those mistakes was uploading a video, the wrong video to the wrong title. So I don't know about y'all, but December was a very hectic month for me. Hectic but full, right? It was a beautiful month for me. I was doing a lot with my family, holidays, preparation, and I made a mistake. I uploaded the wrong video to the wrong title. The reasons why I'm moving to South Africa, the reasons why my family is moving from Tanzania to South Africa. And so in this video, I'm actually going to share those reasons. I ended up uploading the wrong video, posting it, and deleting the old video because, well, I thought it was good. And I planned on sharing it while I was really busy with the things that I was doing in preparation for our move. And so, spoiler alert, I made it to South Africa with my girls, myself. We actually did it. So thrilled, and in this video I'm going to share the reasons why we moved from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania to South Africa. But first, I would love to introduce myself to the people that are new to the channel. Welcome, my name is Ashley on my channel, Ashley in Africa. I talk about my experience moving, living, and doing business here on the continent of Africa. I am also the creator of Africa Investors Academy, a community of entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs and investors looking to build, start, or grow their businesses here on the continent, specifically in Tanzania and in South Africa. So if that sounds interesting and that type of content sounds interesting to you, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you as a part of the family as we're growing. So welcome back. If you're not new, we are growing family, and y'all know I've been doing my best. But this past month has been extremely full. I am so grateful for everything that has happened, everything that I've been able to accomplish. I mean, I'm ecstatic. So let me give y'all the reasons why I moved from Tanzania to South Africa. And for those that have been with us for a while, following our journey here on YouTube and on Instagram at Ashley in Africa, I've been talking about this move for at least a year, right? At least a year. It's been something that I've been preparing for, planning for, and I want to share the reasons why I did it, why I finally did it, because there was a period of time where I was so comfortable in Tanzania. Like, honestly, the last 6 months, 9 months, to be honest, I've been so comfortable there. I started to settle in. I got comfortable with the culture, the language, everything. And I started to get really nervous when I made this move, but I had to remember my why. And for people that are interested in moving abroad, moving to the continent, always remember your why. And that why will change over time. And so my why of moving to Africa changed while I lived in Africa to move to another country, right? So I had to remember my why. And there were several whys that I'm gonna cover in this video. So let me move my hair back because it's touching the microphone and I don't want to give it too much feedback, so I'll just do this side. Okay, great. So let's get into it. The first reason that I wanted to move to South Africa was for the lifestyle. I have been to South Africa about 3 times, traveled to the different provinces of Gauteng, KZN, and Cape Town. I don't know if that's a province because y'all do gather me in the comments, the South Africans, so I'm trying. But I had visited all of these places and I just am enamored with the lifestyle that people live. South Africa indexes very high as one of the best quality of life cities or countries, excuse me. One of the highest quality of life countries to live. And yes, granted, this is for a specific economic group and an economic subset of South Africans, and for people that are migrating from, places like the US, Canada, or the UK, we have a privilege, quite frankly, and recognizing that privilege is really important because it is that, and kind of negating that or acting as if it doesn't exist is, ignorant and I think offensive to some of the South Africans. But for the most part, when we can acknowledge that we do have a privilege in having a quality of life when we are earning, either the dollar, the pound, yeah, we can live a beautiful, privileged lifestyle. And to be honest, I think most South Africans live a great lifestyle here. Thus why they commit to their country. They're very patriotic in the place that they call home, you know, in their country of South Africa. They may migrate around to different provinces, but overall, from my experience, I have seen South Africans that may study abroad, but they return home to their country of South Africa because of the quality of life. I mean, let's look at Trevor Noah, right? He made it to A-list celebrity stardom in the US and chose to leave the US and return to South Africa. And I think that that says a lot about what this country has to offer. You know, in addition to just, you know, the beautiful people that make up the number one resource of this country of South Africa. So that's number one, the lifestyle, quality of life, the beauty, the landscapes, the beaches, the dining, right? The spas, the shopping, all of that. Love the lifestyle here in South Africa. The next thing is education. So I talk about education often on this channel, my passion for education as a always, you know, continuous learner, the fact that I strive to continuously give my children the best access to education possible. Well, South Africa has some of the best academic institutions in the world, from primary to secondary to college to postgraduate, masters, all of that. Some of the best education in the world, and quite frankly here on the continent. What I've been able to find in schools here is a curriculum that is African-centered, that does uphold the values, the beauty, the richness of the culture, and I'm so excited. And it's affordable, right? My girls went to one of, I think, the most expensive schools in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, after I had done all my research. And prior to enrolling them, I didn't really do research on the schools. There were about 3 schools that I applied to, or, you know, shared interest in, sending emails, and this was the only one that responded. And so I chose that one in an effort to get my girls enrolled into school quickly so that they could start to feel a bit more regimen and routine in our new home country. So I've been to South Africa, like I mentioned, 3 times before, going on school tours. I've shared some content here about the different private schools that I found. And the second time around, I looked at government schools. And unfortunately, because of the timetable in which I was applying, I missed a lot of the opportunity to enroll the girls in government schools, which are, again, also some of the best in the world. So maybe next year, right? But for now, I'm really excited about the school that they'll be attending in the upcoming weeks. So that is something that I'm really excited about, and it's affordable. I'll be saving, you know, a few $100 every month with them both being in this school. And that is something that I'm tremendously excited about for the girls. The next thing is compatibility in relationships. So I find that as an American, there is a familiarity that we have for in South Africa. We are very familiar, right, or somewhat familiar with the culture of South Africa, the experience of South Africans, you know, apartheid, Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela. We were familiar with that experience, even as children, right? We didn't know a lot, but we knew something. I remember saying, you know, free Nelson Mandela, bring him back home to Soweto. Like, I remember singing that song as a child, not really knowing the entire experience that he had, but that was something that was familiar to me. And I feel like as an American, returning to her roots in Africa, willing and interested in integrating into the society and culture, that familiarity is important. And while yes, I am an avid, continuous, forever learner, I'm gonna pick up books and I'm gonna learn about the history because it's something that I'm passionate about. The fact that South Africans also have this mutual familiarity with our experience, in the US makes it so that our connection and our ability to foster communication, relationships, understanding, community is a lot more prevalent than some of the other African countries, but I'll speak specifically about Tanzania, right? There were many conversations that I would have with Tanzanians where they just weren't familiar with the, transatlantic slave trade, or really familiar with slavery as a whole. And that's a whole nother conversation, because slavery is said to have started in East Africa. And from the research and the experiences that I've had, I can see how it has been so contained in the way it's shared globally. But I digress. So that compatibility in relationships, the patriotism that exists here in South Africa with South Africans, their awareness of their challenges and their history, and their commitment to growth and their commitment to change is just very familiar to the environment that I could relate to as an African American. That warrior vibe, right? That passion for change, that passion for impact, that passion for, no, I'm gonna live this life because this is my country and we own this, we run this. Love that, love that. That is something that I didn't experience in Tanzania. While it has this beauty in the peace, the people and their adaptation of peace in their day-to-day lives, the difference is, I think, based on the struggle, based on the experience that the South Africans have had, and something that I value for sure, in one of the reasons why I've chosen to migrate to South Africa. The next thing is the economic environment, right? So I would like to communicate my experience as with South Africa as, what's the word that I've used? Proof of concept, right? South Africa is a proof of concept. South Africa is proof that Africa as a continent has an opportunity to compete globally, right? And in many ways, they are competing globally. South Africa, for one, absolutely is, right? And so around the continent, it is known as the financial capital of the continent. It is known as the launch pad for business and commerce around the continent. And for what I've shared in previous videos around the BRICS Economic Alliance, it is the S in BRICS. It is the African powerhouse that is a part of this economic conglomerate that is looking to move us into a new generation of commerce, trade, and global currency, right? And so that type of environment allows for innovation and allows for the talent attraction to continue to push it forward. And after taking 2-year sabbatical and working very lightly and working and doing less, I was ready for an environment that was also ready for innovation, right? That didn't just talk about it, but that has policies, that is very business friendly, that is very accepting to foreign culture, foreign interest, foreign innovation, foreign capital, and willing to collaborate effectively. And so, yeah, it was a huge part of it. Building a business is hard anywhere. Building a business in Tanzania was extremely difficult. I talked about that a lot on the channel. And while I'm still in it, right, I haven't given up. I see where there's some opportunity, and I see where I needed to pivot a bit. And so coming to South Africa, having developed the professional and personal relationships that I have here, I now feel a lot more empowered to do business, not only here in South Africa, but also around the continent. And that's been a really big eye-opener, a really big goal, and wanting to take my talent to where it's treated best. I recommend that. I recommend to anybody, especially a woman, right, that's single, solo. I've noticed that there have been some fantastic business owners that have been successful in Tanzania. Many of them have been coupled, and that's how it should be, right? Like, we're supposed to be in couple. We're supposed to thrive in community with a partner together. And while that is absolutely something that is still very much a priority in my life, for me in Tanzania, I didn't have that success. Not saying it was because I was solo, but for many reasons, right? It takes time to do business. It takes time to reach a level of success anywhere. And so how dare I assume that, yeah, I'm going to go somewhere and in 2 years it's going to pop. And while it's fizzling, it's fizzling, I am aware of the things that I need support in and the ways in which I will need to have support to grow in a country like Tanzania. So South Africa provides that environment, and South Africa, quite frankly, is the environment where I've already had a lot of business success, and I'm excited about that continuous growth. With that, my professional skill sets translate better here. So the soft skills around efficiency, around communication, presentation, relationship nurturing, building, and managing. These type of skills translate really well here in South Africa. I've been able to, create some really strong partnerships, bring in some foreign partners, with other partnerships, and really just add value to the partners, the companies, the brand, the individuals that I've been working with. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that. I completely receive that love here, and share my LinkedIn so people can kind of see my CV, and I just feel the love, right? I feel like there's a lot more support that I get professionally as my skill set translates better here. And so that is a big thing as I get ready or prepare, because I'm already getting ready, but continue to prepare to get back into the flow of working again after my sabbatical and partnering, with bigger projects. It is something that I had to assess, right? And I need to do that, right? As a provider for my family, and just a woman who loves to do business and loves to support and add value to companies that are growing. So let me take a step back, because I did hear myself say as a provider, and that is a faux role that I have taken on. Although that is not my divinely feminine role, I do that. I provide for myself and my girls for now, and plan on continuing to support and provide care and love to my girls and, my family, my future family. So yeah, those are some of the reasons why I've decided to move from Tanzania to South Africa. I am going to miss so much about Tanzania. I'm going to miss the road markets. I am going to miss even speaking Swahili, because I've gotten a lot better with my Swahili, and I'm going to continue to do that. But as we know, anytime you're not actively speaking a language, you will forget it. So I'm going to, hop on Duolingo and continue to speak to my friends and family that are in Tanzania in Swahili, because it is a skill that I do find super valuable, and a skill that I know that I will use ongoing as I continue to plan to spend time in Kenya and in Tanzania in the future. So I'm gonna absolutely miss the Indian Ocean. I'm gonna miss the ocean. Like, I know I can hop over to Durban, but being able to ride a boat 15 minutes away, to put my feet in the ocean, to take a short little 30-minute boat to an island with crystal clear water, I'm gonna miss that. Oh, I'm gonna miss that, y'all. And I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss the community that I built, the friends and the family that I built over the last, 2+ years that live in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and even other parts, Moshi, Marangu, Arusha, Zanzibar. I really have built a community of wonderful people, diasporans, continental Tanzanians as well. And I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them so much, because they have really been a force, something that I prioritize and will prioritize here and recommend for anyone that wants to move abroad, move to Africa, establishing a community should be in your top 3 things that you want to do once you arrive, and intentionally establishing that community, right? So I'm gonna miss y'all. Nakupenda. Yeah, I'm gonna miss y'all. And you know, the last thing, but certainly not the least, probably the most important. In Tanzania, I lived a soft life. I live a soft life, and I'm gonna do my best to translate that over this way, because people in Tanzania, they go with the flow, right? They just, you know, Akuna Matata and Shahala, you know, everything will work out, God will provide. And I have adapted so much of that spirit, so much of that culture in my daily life, right? Like a lot of stuff happened along this move, along this road, and I just allowed it to flow, right? I didn't get stressed out. I didn't get, you know, crazy chaotic. I didn't get anxious. I mean, there was a bit of anxiety and just overall worry, you know, about what could happen, what would happen. But for the most part, I just go with the flow. I know that everything is working out in my favor. Everything is aligned, everything in divine timing. And the people of Tanzania have really taught me to adopt that peace into my daily life. And so I'm not fully giving up on the soft life as of yet, anytime soon. But it is a part of the lifestyle that I created in Tanzania that I'm absolutely gonna miss. So, you know, you all will see me back in Tanzania. I will still be posting content from Tanzania because I have so much content to share. But yeah, those are the reasons why I moved and migrated my family from Tanzania to South Africa, moving from the US to Tanzania to South Africa, and it being kind of a back and forth, and people wondering, hey, are you really coming? Why are you here? Always talking about South Africa. Well, this is why I have finally made the move to Johannesburg, South Africa with my girls, and I couldn't be more full. It's a dream that I've been working on for almost 2 years, and I did it. And I'm so grateful that I did it. And if you have an interest in moving yourself and your family to Tanzania, or growing and building your business here on the continent of Africa, specifically South Africa, right? So if you have an interest in making this move to South Africa, I would love to work with you. You can connect with me via the link below. Yeah, and I'd be happy to share my experience along with some foolproof methods to building your plan to move abroad. So until the next video, please be sure to like this one, and I'll see you in the next video.